Well. Welcome, everyone, to today's show. Boomer and a Gen Xer walk into a bar, coming to you from the Rabbit Hole Studio, where you, as our listeners, will experience some wit and wisdom, some smart assery, and a mother and a daughter questioning, are we even related? My name is Jane Burr. My co-host is my daughter, Bobbi. And for the next, few minutes, we're going to entertain you if we can keep Bobbi awake, because she has been working double shifts, triple shifts, and shifts. Bobbi, how you doing?
I'm tired.
I know. I see that. You came moping in like Methuselah in bad sandals. I don't know. I don't know.
Like a spider in flip-flops trying to be quiet.
Yeah, that was kind of it. And then she had to get something to drink, so I'm not really sure what she's drinking down there.
It's just an energy drink.
An energy drink.
Yep.
Oh, is that a Monster drink?
It's a Monster.
Ah.
Monster import, yep.
Ah, I see. So, did you get some new bubble gum?
I did. This lovely old lady who's out of her freaking mind travels the country and sometimes out of the country, and she brings me these little trinkets, these little knickknacks, these little baubles.
Souvenirs.
Yeah, and this last one is cat butt gum.
Cat butt gum.
And I can't see, the thing is, I don't want to open it because I can't reseal it, but I'm kind of curious if it actually looks like a little cat buttholes.
That would be funny, wouldn't it? I don't
That's
think
the only way
does.
I want it.
I don't think it does, because I got scum gum because somehow I...
Well, I got those Bob Ross mints, and they were trees. They were shaped like his happy little trees. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I want some of those.
That was years ago that I got those.
Oh my gosh, they were little trees.
Little trees.
I wonder if you
happy
can
little
still
trees.
get them.
I'm sure you could. It's somewhere on eBay.
That's kind of cool. I
Yeah.
think that's kind of cool. Well, anyway, we're glad that you're awake, Bobbi, and hopefully you can stay awake. Your chicken maybe, what's that chicken's name?
Today his name is Persephone.
Jiminy Christmas.
You know why? Because he doesn't know. He doesn't know his name.
He's not going to come to it anyway. It's not
care.
like, come here.
Right?
He's not coming. He's not running towards you.
Even if he could, he doesn't have no ears. So perfect example.
And I'm not sure where his wings are. They seem to be kind of embedded underneath his little T-shirt there.
Well, they're in his vest. They're just little teeny tiny chicken wings.
Oh, look at that little chicken wings.
Looks like I'm at B-dubs right now with them tiny wings.
So, what do you want to talk about today, Bobbi?
Well, today I thought that we kind of put some questions out to some personal people. I know I did in my life.
I did too.
I'm sure you did in your life, about things like, advice that we would give our younger selves, or, something that we would say knowing now what we didn't know then, to our younger selves.
Now that we're so much wiser and so much more intelligent, and we know the ways of the world.
I say now that we're more experienced.
We say wise assier. That's what we are. But yeah, we're more experienced. We're older. We think we're a little bit wiser, but sometimes we're just wise asses.
No, absolutely. I have no idea what I'm doing to this day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm almost 45 and I'm just winging it
every day. Every single day. You have no plan.
No plan.
You're just happy to get up and be able to walk.
Whatever happens, happens.
Well, living in the moment, I guess you are. So we asked a few of our people that we know, and also some of our listeners that are kind of the ones that really contact us a lot, and respond to us a lot. So we really appreciate that. And we're really looking for you to respond to us too, as it relates to this particular topic. So the question is, if you could talk to your younger self, and I'm going to take it in different stages here. If you could talk to your younger self, what advice or what information would you give to yourself? And so I'm going to let you start with one, Bobbi. What would you tell your younger self? And let's say as a kid in school,
Well, I mean, that's
That
a
age.
huge range. That's like
It
a
is kind of-
13-year range.
It is.
So
That's
are we
okay.
talking like comprehend, like we can comprehend that this is a life lesson type thing, like a 10 to 16 years old type of thing?
Hey, I'm not setting the rules.
Okay.
You have no boundaries.
And are you wanting like me to throw one out first, or do you want me to read one of my
I want you to
responses?
throw one out for
Okay.
you first.
Okay, for me first. Honestly, the one that my body tells me every day is you got to learn how to duck, kid. Because your 44-year-old body regrets so many things that you did that, I mean, they were fun at the time, but you only get one body and it hurts.
I suppose.
It
So
hurts.
when you say you got to learn to duck, I'm thinking back of when your sister clotheslined you when you were on a 3-wheeler, right?
Yep, and then running into the fence on the 3-wheeler, flipping backwards on the 3-wheeler. There was a lot of stuff on that 3-wheeler that we probably
remember
shouldn't
you-
have had it.
Yeah, and I remember your dad built you guys a 2-story.
It was a
not
playhouse.
It was a playhouse,
but it
and didn't
turned
you
into
fall
a-
out of the window?
Oh yeah, off the roof, out of the window. Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
so I remember people would go, "Oh my gosh, she's climbing a tree," or "Your sister was climbing a tree. Aren't you going to stop them?" No.
No,
I mean, why would I? First of all, how are they going to learn to do that stuff? And it's fun. I remember climbing trees.
Yeah.
It was fun. And, if you can't figure it out, well, if you fall hard, you're only going to do it once. And you did have that helmet phase that you went through after.
well, I mean, it. Yeah,
many
after so
times.
many holes and things in my body.
So you would have to learn how to duck because your body is feeling it now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
You only get one body. You gotta kind of take care of it. I mean, have fun and everything, but man, take care of your body. It hurts.
Yeah, it does. It does. And I remember one of my brothers had made a comment one time. He said, I wake up every day and everything hurts. And now I realize what he's talking about because
Yeah.
at that time I didn't. I was still playing softball. I was still doing just everything, running, doing everything. And I just didn't hurt. And he said, it hurts every single day.
Yeah.
And that's kind of funny. So what about you, Dr. Domain? Have you thought about this subject at all?
No, I live my life
plead the
with no
fifth.
regrets.
You lived
No
your
regrets.
life with no regrets. Okay.
Just like my tattoo says.
That's right. That's right.
No, I would say probably as difficult as it is to be authentic, I think it's more fulfilling than trying to fit in with the crowd. So that's probably it.
Just being you.
Yeah.
being
I think there's a
authentic.
certain aspect of it where I try to fit in and just kind of go with the crowd and everything like that.
Yeah.
Not totally, but there were times I'm like, yeah, this is BS. I shouldn't have done it this way.
I think as a kid we had, and not even just a kid, but we had a lot of peer pressure, right? I mean,
Well, it wasn't just peer pressure, it's societal pressure too. You've got pressure at school to, line up and fit in, and
yeah.
you have to wear these shoes and these clothes and
Yeah.
carry this kind of backpack and have a Lisa Frank trapper keeper and
Yeah.
yeah.
Lisa Frank.
Yeah.
Who
That's
the
my
heck?
time.
Oh, I'm gonna
It's
go.
it's the
I'm
folders and trappers with all like the rainbow unicorn, bright colors shit on it. Okay.
So we didn't have any of that, did we, Dr. Domain? We had grocery sacks that we had to wrap our books in, So.
Well, we did too, the brown paper bags,
Yeah,
but
that
I'm
was-
talking
Go to
like,
school
the
like Tom
trapper
Sawyer.
Trapper keepers.
With our stick and our knapsack.
That's
with your hobo stick.
And we didn't have any
Yeah.
shoes, until wintertime.
You had your one apple in there for lunch.
That's
and-
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you laugh, but that's not too far from the truth, sister. I think a lot of people look back now, and it doesn't matter what age, maybe not when we were in grade school, but even in our 20s, 30s, and if you're in your 40s yet or even older, there is a part of a part of me anyway that says, man, I wish I would have been more authentic and just been me. I will say one of the biggest regrets I ever had, and I wish I could have, if I had any regrets, this would be it. I was a liar to be a liar about lying.
So you had liabilities.
I had liabilities.
You just lie for no reason.
Not just liabilities. I had liabilities. And it's interesting because I was the last of 7 kids. I wasn't listened to. Sometimes I felt like I had to make up lies to, get attention. And then it just got bigger and badder. And I remember even in my 20s and 30s, I was still lying. I was lying out my lion pie hole all the time. And it was about stupid stuff.
Yeah, just meaningless stuff. Like, why are you even lying about that?
Yeah. I mean, where'd you get those shoes? Well, I got them at Kmart, but I'm going to tell you that I got them at Macy's,
right.
And it was stupid stuff. And a lot of it was to fit in. It was to fit in and, be a part of the cool kid crowd, I guess.
Yeah.
But if I could tell myself one thing, it would be, just be true to myself. And I don't have to lie to anybody. The truth is the truth. And that would probably be my biggest regret in life and what I would tell myself.
Okay. All right.
So you asked some of your friends or you asked some folks that you knew.
I did.
And tell us about one of them.
So overwhelmingly, all of them said basically to work harder. So work harder towards what you want, work harder towards your goals, just work harder in general. So one of them, and of course we're going to stay anonymous here, but one of them, my friend, he said that he would tell himself not to grow up so fast. I think we all do kind of feel that. We all want to be so big as kids, and then we get here and we go, oh no,
this ain't
no.
I didn't sign up for this.
Pump the brakes.
Yeah. Well, I went out, let me off at the next stop.
But he also said to just enjoy your life while you're young, because the stress, the anxiety, everything's going to hit you harder than you could even imagine when you grow up.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
Another one that a lot of them said was, you have to pick people you trust in your life more carefully, because the closer they are to you, the closer they, the more they can hurt you.
Yeah. And not only that, but you are who you hang with. And I used to tell you kids that, and you never
Guilt by
believed me.
association.
It isn't just guilt by association. I think I used to tell you guys that you stink the stank of those that you hang with.
It's the one bad apple in a barrel can ruin the bunch.
And it can. And people go, well, don't let it. Well, it does. And it's a lot easier to conform to negativity and to the bad side than it is to the good side. And that's unfortunate because if you think about people that you work with or people that you know, if you're around a negative person for any length of time, you tend to become negative. Unfortunately, when you're around a lot of positive people or a few positive people, you tend to make fun of them because they're positive.
I was gonna say now, if I'm at work or something and somebody's, being really negative, I kick that up a notch. I will find it and be like, hey, what are you doing? Why are you cranky? Oh, okay. And then I'm just gonna make it worse.
Yeah. But I think that I'm kind of puzzled by working harder.
Yeah, a lot of them did. Just work harder towards what you want.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is you're young. You have those opportunities in front of you. Your body's hopefully not breaking down by that point. You're at your prime. You're at your peak. You're going into, a big part of your life where you're going to make decisions that are going to affect you, 10, 20, 30 years later.
Yeah.
So, work harder, make sure your body is in shape, make sure your life is in shape, make sure that, you're working towards a goal rather than just kind of doing whatever you want.
Do you think that some people look at that and go, well, you're being very selfish then because all you're thinking about is just you?
No. No.
You don't think that they do? Because
I might.
guess I get that impression sometimes that, if I said, hey, listen, I can't do that with you. I am working on this goal. I really need to do this. Sometimes you get a little bit of retaliatory effects from that, I think.
Yeah. Well, and that kind of goes along with what I tell the kids all the time. And that's, when they're having problems, they're focusing on themselves type of thing. And they say, well, this person said this or this person's negative. Are they paying your bills?
Right.
Are they going to be paying your bills in the future?
Right.
Are they here supporting you every day? Does anything that they're going to do or say have an actual outcome on your life?
Right.
If the answer is no, who cares?
And I've always had that mindset too. I've always said, unless they're paying your bills or sleeping with you, they get no say.
I don't even care
life.
if they're sleeping with
They
you.
get no say in my life.
No.
They get no say in my life.
No, unless it's, like a marriage type thing. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, sure.
And then, I think the other thing, and you kids probably don't remember all these little things that I used to say to you was, when we're talking about making something happen, if you want it bad enough, you'll make it happen.
Yeah.
If you don't, you'll make excuses.
Yeah.
And that's the way life is. If you want it bad enough, folks, you will make it happen. If you don't, you will make excuses. It's always somebody else's fault. It's always some other condition. It's always some other situation.
See,
you
and
want
I
it
don't-
bad enough, you'll get it.
I get that, and I do, and I can half support that, but I do kind of change it up with everything
what
that
way?
I've been through. It's not if you want it bad enough, you'll make it happen, because shit actually does happen. If you want it bad enough, you will work every day towards making it happen.
Yeah, and
now,
I guess
whether
that's
or not
what
it
I
happens,
mean. I mean, you can tear it apart however you want to.
well, but it's kind of different because, I mean, you're saying it like if you want it bad enough, come hell or high water, you're going to make it happen. Well, that's not always plausible because there is hell and high water that will prevent you from doing things, whether it's physically, mentally, things like that. But if you work every day for that goal to make it happen, then you're not going to have any regrets about it.
Yeah, and to kind of go further with that is, if I said I want to be a millionaire by the time that I'm 30, and I work towards that and I work hard towards it.
Right.
Maybe I've got 500,000 in the bank and not 1 million.
Right.
I'm still successful.
Right.
I didn't make excuses along the way. I will settle for what my outcome is.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying, but I'm going to work at it along the way. You're absolutely right. And I'm one for writing down plans. I do it all the time. When I was building this house, that was scary because I had never done that by myself before. I had never bought property. Well, I had bought property, but I had never bought a house and done the things that I did to this property and built a house before. And I was here every single day. And I wrote out a plan and I said, I will do something every single day for the success of this house. Now, it's not a fancy house. It's a nice enough house, nothing fancy. But what I did was every single day I was at this house. The builders got so sick of me.
I bet.
And I know how to read mechanical drawings. I know how to read, any type of electrical drawings. I know how to read all of that stuff. And so I was probably their biggest pain in the ass. And
Go figure. Go figure.
But here's what's interesting. I had a vision in my head from everything that was going to be on the floors to everything that was going to be on the walls and every piece of furniture. And this house came out exactly what was in my head
Well, you screwed up.
because I made it happen. Oh, because you're cold in the basement sometimes.
Because it's freezing in the basement.
Oh, you're such
it's
a
hot and humid on the main floor.
It is not.
It's like 10 steps. How is the temperature changed
I have
from
24
icebox
foot
to hell?
ceilings and a loft
Okay,
up
well,
there.
see,
And-
I'm just saying is all.
Okay, I didn't fail because it looks exactly the way I wanted it to look. And
Anyway,
gosh,
I had to give her
Bobbi.
crap for that one.
Yeah, I guess. So I asked a good friend, and she is a good follower and of ours, about hers. And I said, what would you tell your younger self? And she said, don't look back. Keep looking forward for change. Don't be afraid of change and stepping out of your comfort zone, even at 70 plus, because she's over 70 years old. And trust what life brings to you. And, she's a very spiritual person too. And she said the Lord will get you through it and keep your faith. So I thought that was pretty good. Just just staying very, very positive.
Yeah.
So
I have a different one from someone who has a completely different life experience growing up than you or I ever had.
okay.
And he didn't grow up around here.
Okay.
And he was where he grew up, things like gangs and drugs were very prevalent. Some things that he said, and I think some of these are just really good for anybody, especially someone in a bad situation. He says, don't ever give up because God will provide.
Yep.
Those friends you have are going to end up dead or in prison. The friends,
that are
quote
bringing you
unquote.
down,
Yes. Work harder and be healthier. You're going to get through it. Don't count on family to save you.
Yeah.
When you're going through it.
Yeah.
You absolutely are worth it. And one thing that a lot of them did say that I asked is don't make dumb financial decisions.
Yeah.
Especially when you're younger.
But we all
Because
do, right?
We do because we're learning, but at the same time, man, those follow you.
Yeah.
They haunt you.
They haunt you
Oh,
forever.
man.
That's for sure.
Oh, man. And a lot of his were, the drugs don't love you. They don't.
No.
The people who give you those drugs, they don't love
That's
you.
exactly right.
You can't always turn to something just to make it through. The drugs, the alcohol, the gangs, things like that.
Yeah.
None of it's going to be worth it.
It isn't. And, it doesn't care if you come home at night.
No.
It doesn't care if you get mugged.
It doesn't care
if
that
you
your
get
mom
killed.
is crying over your grave.
It doesn't care
doesn't
about
care.
any of that, whether it's drugs, alcohol, anything that is going to, take control of you. Or again, you mentioned those friends. They're not true friends. You have to be true to yourself. And that's something that was on the list as I looked things up on the internet. Being authentic to yourself is really scary, but more fulfilling than trying to fit in.
And the sooner you do it, the happier your life is going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is because, one of my big things is I would look back and tell myself, they don't love you. They don't love you.
Yeah.
He, she, they do not love you. Most of the people that are in your life are there to watch something beautiful die in you.
Yeah.
Period.
It is
They're
true.
there for the show. They're there to make themselves feel better. And my biggest thing on that is don't let them.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't let them in your life because there's people out there that needed your love, regardless of how big of a piece of shit they were to you.
Yeah.
They needed that love at that time.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is don't give them the satisfaction of letting that die and letting them see it.
Yeah.
Just don't.
And this is a sad reality that even if they're good friends of yours, there's a part of certain people and a lot of people who want you to fail. They
Yeah.
want you to be successful, just not too successful.
Right.
They want you to be successful, just not more successful than them.
Right.
They want you to lose weight,
Just
but
not.
they don't want you to be thinner than them.
Right. They don't want you to
They
look
don't
better
want you
than
to
them.
look better than them.
No.
They want you to get past this health scare, but there's a part of you now that is dependent on them as the friend.
Yeah.
And so, unfortunately, that's a very self-centered thing to say, but it's true.
It is.
Psychologically, a lot of people have that. Now, I've always said, I had friends who won $10,000, $100,000 in a lottery scratch off, right? Something, whatever.
Yeah.
I truly was happy for them.
Oh, yeah.
When I see people on TV who are winning, I am like happy for them.
Yeah.
I have no resentment whatsoever. You know why? God didn't put that in my path. He put it in yours. And one of the things that I've always said to you kids is, if something didn't work out for you, it wasn't your opportunity.
Right.
That wasn't your opportunity today. It may have been the person behind you, their opportunity. Maybe that looked like it was aiming your way, but it wasn't. It was for the person behind you. And when someone gets hurt, because you and I both know someone who is like this, that makes themselves into a victim all the time.
I think all of us know someone like that.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
Everybody does. They make themselves into a victim. Oh, poor me. Oh, well, I can't do that because of this. Or, oh my gosh. When something happens, people aren't targeting you. You just happen to be in the way.
Right.
Like, if somebody decides that they want to get out of that relationship and move on, if you're young and you're trying to find a relationship, the fact is They weren't aiming at you. You just happened to be in the way. And so sometimes you get hurt for being in the way.
Yeah, a convenience thing.
It is kind of
Yeah.
a convenience thing. And so just remember that every opportunity is not aimed at you. It may have been aimed at the person next to you and you thought it was for you. It wasn't.
Right. So I also have a friend, and he absolutely gave me permission to use this. You had sent me a few voice clips when we
Yes.
talked about this for an episode.
As examples.
As examples.
Yeah.
Well, he feels the way that I think a lot of Gen Xers do, in our 40s and 50s right now. His biggest advice is don't buy a house, don't buy into the white picket fence dream, don't go into debt for it, don't, live above your means for it. And his big thing is if you don't want to have kids, don't feel pressured for it. If you want to build your own life, go be happy. Go do what makes you happy. Work towards being happy, because if you work towards something that is a cookie cutter lifestyle, let's say, the kids, the house, the dog, the 9-to-5 job type of thing, if that's not what you truly want deep down, it's going to kill you slowly.
Yeah, because sometimes other people want that for you, right?
Right. Well, and we're conditioned for it.
We are conditioned.
When are
yeah.
you getting married? When are you having
Are
children?
you going to college?
Are
when
you going
are
to
you going to get a
college?
full-time job?
Yeah.
When are you going to get a
I
new
found
car?
this nice house down the street that you guys could, buy and,
Yeah.
go get a loan and go get this and
Yeah.
things like, man, it's...
Why bury yourself? And
Listen, just live within your means. Buy the shitbox car that you can pay cash for now.
Yep.
Work towards something bigger than just a car and a house and
stop
things like
trying to
that.
impress somebody else.
Stop trying to keep up with the Johnsons.
With the Jones.
With the Joneses. Come on now.
So we had talked about this too before. It used to be that if you lived in a van down by the river, you were considered a dirtbag.
Right.
And now people are going, hey, this set me free.
Now the vans are $250,000.
There's that too.
And the river spots are all taken.
But there's a lot of people, yeah, and they cost
yes.
$100
And there's
a
a
night.
train that goes by them.
So there's a lot of people though that are trying to get themselves out from under these mortgages.
Right.
And it all starts with, who can I impress?
Yeah.
You don't have to impress anybody. You're
Yep.
you're not here to impress anybody. If you want to help somebody else, that's wonderful. But you're not here to impress anybody else. And so there are a lot of people who are saying, to hell with this. I'm not going to work myself to death just to show off to somebody else.
Yeah. Provide
And
for the lifestyle that you
want. Right.
Absolutely. Because no one else is here. I mean, I think we've talked about this before. Nobody else actually is invested in your happiness.
Right.
No one else.
Right.
You have to make yourself happy. And if you're living a life where every morning you wake up and go, why the hell am I doing this? Why are you doing it?
Why are you doing it?
Change
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
There are some circumstances that are dumped on people that they have no control over.
Right. You have to
But
survive, right? I mean,
You do.
still
You have to survive. But there's always that, that hope. Like, I have 10 more years until, all the kids are grown and adults. So in 10 years, I'm going to have enough money for my RV that I
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
Things like that.
I'm going to go work where I want to work.
Right.
I'll have enough money to do whatever. Yeah, I agree with you on that. And we have to remember that our experiences, our goals, the things that are important to us aren't always important to somebody else. And we can't really expect them to be. And so if they're not, that's okay. There's no big deal about that. So Dr. Domain, any other comments from you related to that?
He's been pretty quiet this
He
episode.
has been quiet, hasn't he? Are you still awake over there?
Yeah, I'm awake.
You're
I'm awake.
awake?
Yeah.
So anything else?
Or
I mean,
or,
think about your
things
kids.
that I would tell my
because-
younger self.
Well, think about even your kids.
What would you tell
know,
your kids that you know? Or
That you
because
know.
I mean, they're basically your younger self, just really warped versions. That's how I see it. Like, this is me if I did not ever.
You're kind of putting yourself up
Clean
there on
my
a
room,
pedestal,
you
there,
know.
Bobby. But
Well, part of it is knowing what I know now, which is not really fair in terms of trying to say, well, I should do this, or I tell myself to do that. if I would have known the life expectancy of my parents, I would
Yeah.
have spent every moment I could with them.
Yeah, I'd have been a better daughter for sure.
I think we all have that, certain people in our lives.
Better for me would have been, more quality time.
Yeah.
And it could be as simple as sitting, with my parents or
Yeah.
listening to them or
Going to
anything
dinner
like that.
once a week.
Yeah.
And I credit my parents for teaching me a lot of life lessons and really molded me into who I am today. But still, I wish I would have spent more time with them.
Yeah, I didn't like some of the lessons I was taught for sure, but they've certainly come in handy, and they have certainly been something that I've tried to share with my own kids to say, hopefully this will make you a better person. Hopefully this will protect you in life. I don't know.
Yeah, they were all lessons,
Yeah.
but not once did my parents lie to me. So. Yeah, maybe Santa.
Dang,
Easter
I was
Bunny,
gonna
but,
say
yeah.
like
Other than
Easter
that.
Bunny, Easter Bunny,
Yeah.
Santa.
Yeah, I mean, all
Like-
that-
No, real.
all
I mean,
that
like
business.
real substantial things in life. Like this is gonna hurt, but
Yeah.
it's for your own good.
Yeah.
I get tired of hearing that.
Yeah.
I mean,
suppose.
my mother disassembled a relationship I had with someone. And at that time, as a young person, 15, 16, 17 years old, you're like, you have no kind words.
Yeah.
You have nothing nice to say. You think that person's the worst person on the planet. Mm-hmm. But as I look back at what my mom did, yeah, she was right. She
Yeah.
was totally spot on.
But you,
She was totally
also,
spot on. And it was hard though.
Yeah, but
that's
also
difficult.
I think that, if I have an enemy, it's not necessarily my kids' enemy. And I don't mean enemy, but if there's somebody that I just disagree with, and it depends on what I disagree with them on, but if I'm in disagreement with somebody, I don't necessarily want or need my kids. It's not misery loves company. I don't need them to hate that person too or dislike that
It
person.
wasn't a matter of disagreement. Like, oh, they don't like the color blue, and I really like color blue. It wasn't nothing superficial like that.
Okay.
Or even politics. It was,
talking about like your first heartbreak,
yeah, this is more, what?
like your first like girlfriend, and they said, "Don't do that. That's not good, son. We forbid you from
Yeah,
seeing
well,
her."
I think the advantage that my parents had, my mother in particular, was that she had gotten to know the parents of this person and the lifestyle they were leading, and we're kind of a part of that. We're a product of our upbringing to some extent,
Yeah.
which we just talked about, and she could kind of see the writing on the wall on the direction that they were taking
Okay.
their daughter, and so that's kind of what led her to do what she did. Now, was it my decision? Yeah, it was ultimately my decision. Do my mom make it easy on me? No.
Yeah.
but I
No,
mean,
but now I look back and I see that person. I'm like, yeah, that was not the path I
Right.
wanted to go down.
But you have to give yourself some grace, because at 15, 16, 17 years old, that probably is the worst pain, the worst thing that had happened to you at that point on that emotional level.
Right.
So, I mean, you look back and you're like, oh, I've gone through worse. Yeah, you have now. But at 15, 16, 17, that was the end of the world.
Right. You don't
Like,
know the worst that's
You
coming.
don't. You
Right,
don't. And you
right.
think
Yeah.
this is just the most horrible thing ever. This is going to end my entire life and I'll never be happy.
yeah,
And I remember
Yeah.
telling
and
my
that's
kids.
one thing. Sorry to interrupt. That's
go
one
ahead.
thing that when I look at that experience that I had, that little life lessons, and in retrospect, it was small compared to everything else. It really just said, yeah, screw you. I'm done listening to my mom and dad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
you get to
it's
that
true.
That's
point
about
where you're
that
like,
age, yeah.
oh, they don't know anything.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have this figured out. And
You don't know me, Mom.
But
Yeah.
now, yeah. So it's kind of I'm trying to go back to the part that you asked me about, and that is I'd have to set that aside and have to go spend more time with my mom and dad.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
would be super important. It's hard. I can say that easily now, but back then, that would have been a hard pill to
Yeah.
swallow. And I
Yeah,
thought, geez,
I
I got to
get
spend
it.
the day
To be
with
able
my
to put
dad.
that down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But-
think one thing that was difficult as a parent, and I'm sure it was difficult as a child when Bobbi and her sister were growing up, is I remember them saying, you can't tell me who to hang out with. You can't tell me who my friends are. Yeah, I can.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I
Let's
can
set
and I
the
will.
scene because we were kicked out at dawn and let in at dark. But yeah, I mean, if we got caught with certain friends,
Okay,
there was
you may-
definitely an ass whooping coming. But
So let me just tell you
when
this.
all the
These-
neighborhood kids hung out together, there was some in there that
There were, but she says that we were kicked out at dawn and brought back in at dark. You think I didn't know where you were? Are you on crack? I hope not today.
The amount of times that she would show up at someone's door and I'm like, how did you know? I mean, there's 53 bikes in the front yard, but how did you know?
or she would, one of the two would say, how did you know that happened? How did you know we did that? How did you know? I knew where you were. And the whole thing was I would always tell these girls, it doesn't matter what you do. I put my parents through a hell of a lot worse.
Yep.
So you bring it on. And they did try. But I think that was really hard for a young kid is to say, you're not going to hang out with that person.
Well, because basically as a parent, you're looking at your child and saying, I don't trust your judgment right now, and neither should you.
Yeah.
So you're asking someone who's already going through a difficult time in their life with puberty and everything else and finding themselves to look at themselves and say, you can't trust your own judgment.
So let me ask you this. As an adult, what would you tell your younger self? As an adult, that is different. Would it be different than what we just talked about?
I have 3 big things that I would tell myself. Okay. Number 1 is as long as you think forever is half that and then divide that by 20, and it's still not as long as you're actually going to have. And I say that, about you think you're going to have forever with this person, or you think you're going to have forever to do this. Forever is not that long. It is not as long as you think it is. So, just remember that, because you think that especially as a kid, forever is forever. You think 40 is old and you think 80 is ancient type of thing. But yeah, I mean, you gotta cut that way down, and that's still not small enough as to how much forever actually is.
That's a good point. Meaning we just don't have the time that we think we do.
So what does that mean? Just live it up.
Live it up, but
Go
also
skydiving and whatever else you want to do.
Well, it's more about other people. It's more about people that you really care about. You think that you always have that forever.
Yeah.
And
you don't.
It's not as long as you think. Even if they live to be a ripe old age, it's still not as long as you think. It's not as long as you need. It's not as long as you want.
There's a saying out there, this too shall pass. This too shall pass.
Yeah.
And some people think that's biblical. I don't think it is. Is it, Dr. Domain? I don't believe that it is, but this too shall pass.
I think it's just motivational.
But what that means isn't that you're in a bad situation and this too shall pass. You could be in a good situation.
And it will
this
pass.
Too shall pass.
Yep.
Just be prepared. You're not going to be able to ride that wave all the time.
Yeah. And my second one is something my dad told me when I was a late teenager.
Oh, this ought to be interesting.
So my dad, great guy. And anybody that doesn't know him, he's a really good guy. Something that he said to me when I was younger was, it doesn't matter if it's for 6 days or 6 months or 6 years. If you want to do something, do it. Just go do it. If you last 6 days, good, you did it. If you last 6 months, good, you did it. You're not going to have that regret of looking back and going, oh man, when I was 23, I should have done this.
Yeah.
And I have lived by that quite a bit in my life. And it has afforded me not only to do some things that I want, but it's also afforded me to get out of some very, very volatile and dangerous situations, because it's, you look at it 6 days, even if you have to look at it for 6 hours. Hey, I went and did this for 6 hours and I never thought I would.
Yeah.
You kind of just give yourself the strength to say, I'm just going to do it. And whatever happens, happens.
I right now am down here at the other end of the studio trying to get past the fact that she just described her father as being such a wonderful, great guy. If anybody knows him, he's a wonderful guy. I've heard you talk about me, Bobbi, and you say she's
I like
such
your mullet.
a weirdo. I don't have a mullet.
It's a mullet. I like your mullet, though.
Stop it.
It's better than your 80s one.
So I got my hair cut. I got about 7 or 8 inches cut off. And so it's shorter. And she goes, and it's kind of a shag. And she goes, oh, that's a mullet.
Okay.
See, that's
it's
the nicest
short,
thing you can say
it's
about
short
me.
in front. It's
oh,
short
keep
on the
going
sides.
on your list.
And it's all party in the back.
It is not. It is
It's a
not.
mullet.
It's the same length on the side, you bonehead. Gosh, get your glasses checked. And plus, if I was going to ask anybody about fashion,
It wouldn't be me.
got to be honest with you, it wouldn't be.
Look, I said it looked good. It does. It looks good. But I
Keep
got to
going on your list.
Last one. I have to give you crap. You know, I gotta knock you down a few pegs.
Your dad is a nice guy. There's no doubt about it. He's a good guy, and he's been a good father for you
Absolutely.
kids.
Absolutely. So my biggest one is as a kid, and of course, you know what everything we went through as a kid and everything like that is your parents are still growing. They're doing everything that they're doing for the first time. There's no instruction manual, but at the same time, you need to put it down.
What does that mean, put it down?
You're a kid. Put it down. That's not yours to carry.
I see what you're saying. You're talking about any type of a hereditary type of trauma.
Hereditary, emotional things
anything
like
that
that. You know,
they're
during
passing
your
on.
guys' divorce, I shouldered a lot. I did.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was because you were going through this for the first time.
Right.
You know, and I was around you a lot. And I felt that emotion because, you know, I would see you cry. I would see you break down. I would see you go, how am I going to do this? I mean, I never saw you give up. That's for sure. But at the same time, as a kid, put it down, man.
Yeah.
Put it down.
I remember
Let the adults handle the adult things and go outside and be a damn kid.
It was tough on you kids. And I remember your sister making a comment to me later on in life. She said, you know, the hardest part for me, Mom, was watching you go through this, because here was the strongest woman I had ever met in my entire life, and you were falling apart.
Yeah.
So she said, where did that leave me?
Yeah.
Where did that leave Bobby?
Yep.
And I never even thought about it that way, because to me, I was losing my husband. To you guys, your father was still going to be there. And
Right.
so to me, it wasn't as big a loss, right? Because I'm
Right.
self-centered.
Right.
And
But that's how it was,
was
because
thinking
you were
about just me.
You were grieving someone.
but you guys saw me break down, and it scared you.
Yeah.
And she said, we were scared.
Oh, yeah,
We were
'cause-
scared. When we saw you break down, we were scared.
yeah, because we knew that shit had hit the fan.
Yeah, and so I think that's a great lesson for people who are going through these things, you know, going through a divorce or separation or something, is to understand, you know, what kind of impact it does have on the kids. It isn't just, oh, I didn't call him a name, or I didn't say anything bad in front of him. It's what your kids see of you, and
Right.
then what you turn into because of it. And boy, if I could do that over again, whew, I will,
There's a lot of things that we could say that if we could do it over again, but in the end, you know, it's who we are.
yeah.
It's who we are. It's why I raise my kids the way I raise them. You know, I learned a lot of good lessons from a lot of the trauma of the past, and I don't think that I would be in the position today that I'm in. I think I would be much worse off if I didn't go through those things.
Yeah,
If I didn't know.
I think you're a smart cat, and I think that you've learned a lot, and I think that you've experienced a lot, and unfortunately, good or bad,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. I think it has made you who you are, and you know, people look at us and say, "You guys are such strong women." No, we're not.
No.
No, we're not. We tear apart inside just like anybody else.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, my feelings can be hurt at the drop of a hat, and so can yours. And we just don't show it. We've become not numb to it. We're not numb, and we're not strong. So let's just keep that out there in the forefront.
Well, I think that we are strong. I think that we don't choose to be strong. Like, it's not something that we go out and seek. It's not something that's like a badge of honor to us. It's something that we were forced to do.
I think we go into protection mode.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we do.
But I do let my kids see emotions. I do let them, you know, see that there are difficulties, but there are ways out.
Yeah.
You know,
We
we're
have to
going to
deal
get
with
through
them.
it,
Yep.
but it's completely okay to break down things like that. But yeah, honestly, I would go back and I would say, man, put them damn bags down. They're not yours to carry.
That's a good.
Please
that's
go
good
be
advice.
a kid.
That's
Please
good
go be a
advice.
kid.
I want to end this with a quick list here.
Yeah.
Number one, not necessarily in this order, but nothing turns out how you plan. You know, there's a saying that says, you know, you want to share your plan with God, that'll give him a good laugh. Being your authentic self is scary, but it's more fulfilling than trying to fit in.
That's like Dr. Domain said.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Just be who you are.
It was never an emo phase.
Right.
It's
and
who I am.
Not everybody's going to like you.
No.
And it's not personal. It's not really against you. They're just not going to like you. And
Not
that's
everybody
okay.
likes bacon, you know? I mean,
What?
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
She's not mine. Also, your experience and your skill are valuable, but not to everybody.
Right.
So let's just face it. They are valuable, just not always to everybody else. There's no right way to do most things with your life. There's a lot of multiple different ways to do it, and some may be right, some may be wrong. It's up to you to experience life. Also, love isn't something that you need to be afraid to give, and you don't need to be afraid to get.
Yeah.
Always remember quality over quantity. You talked about that, Bobbi.
Oh, yeah. That's why I got like 3 friends. But I'm telling you what, one phone call and any one of them would be up at that jail with bail money going, hey, where are we going to eat?
And always remember that nobody is as critical of you as you are of yourself. That little voice in your head, we need to lay that down.
Mine sounds like my mom.
Oh my gosh!
Really? What's going on with this here?
With this outfit over here?
What's going on with this?
Understand.
Why are we doing this here when we could be doing this?
Yeah, okay. Well, I think that's probably all we've got for today, and we really appreciate those who did respond to us to this question, and thank you for that. But we do want to hear from other people, don't we?
Absolutely. And if we didn't reach out to you this episode, trust me, we've got plenty more time to reach out to you for some other
That's
questions
right.
for
You're
some
not
episodes.
safe. Don't
you
try
are
to
not
hide.
safe, and we know where you live.
That's
so
right.
that is all the insanity that we have for today. We do appreciate you joining us here at the Rabbit Hole Studio. Be sure to follow us because we look forward to spending time with you each and every week. Please like us. If you have positive feedback, or if you have a comment, a question, a topic, any of those, you can drop us a short email at boomerandgenxer@gmail.com. And if you have hate mail, well, I mean, send that to little me because I'm sure she'd enjoy reading it.
She'd just tear it up or color over it.
Little emo Bobbi.
That's right.
Until next week, I'm Bobbi Joy.
And I'm Jane Burt.
And you're stuck with us.
Peace out.
Later.